Let us try to solve the exercise number 7 in the part B of CMA lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to create a web page using HTML5 canvas element to illustrate all the canvas compositions. Now, all the canvas compositions are actually shown in the sample output. But the problem is during the examination, sometimes this sample output is not given to you. So it is your duty to somehow memorize these composition. Without them, your entire application or your entire exercises will not work. So the important part is somehow you memorize them during the examination. Suppose if you can't memorize them, or if you forget them during the examination, always you can ask for the sample output. That is part of the question itself. They have already given you the sample output. So during the examination, they are supposed to provide you with this sample output, but most of the colleges do not provide them, assuming that you know these compositions. Now, if you run this application, this is how it's going to look like. So you are going to see all the various composition. And this, if at all you get this exercise during the examination, you are the luckiest one, because this is the most simplest exercise that you can think of in this entire paper. So let's start with the NetBeans. I'm going to go to the NetBeans and I'm going to start a new HTML5 application, and I'm going to give it a name like composition. You can give any name to the application, and I'm going to click on finish. There is no template that is required, and I'm going to remove all the JS and JSONs from the application, and I have a clean slate with me. I'm going to just remove this remark statement, which has nothing to do with the application, and let me give the title as composition. So I'm going to give the title as composition. And if you notice over here, this is actually a table. So what they have done is they have created a table with 4 rows, you'll see there, and 3 columns. So let's try to get the table first. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to remove this div out of the thing over here, and I'm going to just type a table here. So I'm going to just I'm going to create a table, and inside this table I'm going to create a row, and we are supposed to create columns. So let's create a column. Now, as you notice that this particular table is aligned at the center. So you can notice that it is aligned at the center, and there is a border. You can use CSS style for doing it, but I prefer to use this one because it's going to do the work very quickly. However, this is not an advised one because whenever you want to format a table, you are supposed to use the CSS for formatting, not to give the attributes to the tags itself. But this is going to work fine. That is why during the examination, I don't think so you will try to do something that will consume your time. So this is what you're going to see. So I have created a border, and I have aligned it at the center. So if you run it now, if I just run it directly, you're going to see a table, that's all. But the thing is, there is no content inside of that table. Suppose if I put some content here, okay, inside this TD, if I put some content here, and then I'll show you, you're going to see it at the center. Okay, some content is there, but what are the content that should be there? Now, all of them, all these things over here, they are drawn using a canvas. So all these things that you see over here are all canvas. And below you have a text. I'm going to use a div for creating the text. So it is true for the remaining, all of them are going to be the same thing. So let's start with a canvas element. I'm going to put a canvas inside it. Okay, and there is a canvas element, and there is a div element that's going to show the text. So two things are there. So I have a canvas element and a div element. Now, if you run it, if you see it, you are not going to see any difference here. So you just have a table. That's all, without anything. Now I'm going to give an ID to this particular canvas, and I'm going to call this one as canvas 0. Why I am calling it as 0 is because I'm going to use an array, and you know very well array starts with the 0. First element of the array is 0. You're already familiar with that. Let me set the width and height for this particular canvas. So let me take the width as 120, and let me take the height also as 120. So I'm taking a rectangular one, and also I'm going to give a label to this or ID to this one, so that I can use it. I'm going to call this one as label, LAB 0. So I've given canvas 0 and label 0 as my element there. So if you just, I'm going to just save it, and if you look at here, the output, this is how you're going to see 120 cross 120 box you're going to see. And such kind of three boxes are required. So I need to copy them 3 times. So I have to go and copy it 3 times. I'm going to just select this, Control C to copy it, and I'm going to go here and press enter, Control V to paste it, Control V to paste it. So you got 3 columns there. Now if you look at the output, you got 3 columns. I'm pressing Control S, or you can click on here to save the thing. Now I need this first row is over. You can see first row is over. I need the second row, and I need up to 4 rows are required. So I'm going to now copy this TR to TR. So I'm going to copy from here to here, TR to TR. I'm going to copy this one, Control C to copy it, and I'm going to go down, press enter, and then paste it. So I have pasted the second row. I am pressing Control S to save it. So I got the second row. In the same way, I'm going to press enter and paste it one more times. I'm pasting it. So I'm actually pasting 4 times, 3 times, so that I can get the 4 rows. So these 3 rows are over. And the last thing, after TR, I'm going to again press Control V and save it by pressing Control S, and I have all the 4 rows that are getting created. Okay, now the other thing that you have to do is you have to write a script that is going to fill all the components. So let's start. I'm going to go outside this table. So I will go outside this table, and I'm going to create a script tag. So I will go here and create a script tag, press enter, and let me create that script tag. I think I can do it here itself. So sometime let me start over here. So let me go over here and the script and the slash script. So you have the script here. Now let's start with the script. Now remember, we are going to run a for loop that's going to go through all the elements. So for loop will go from here across this all of them. So I need a for loop, and all these names that you see over here, all these names are stored in the array, and they must be stored as it is. Remember, very important, they are all in small cases. Source over small case, source in small case, source out, source stop, destination over, destination in, destination out, destination stop, lighter, darker, copy, XOR. So all these things you remember, maybe before the examination, write it 10 times or somehow memorize them, so that you don't mess up with them. There is no spaces between the space over. Remember, there is a hyphen is there, that is dash is there, but without the spaces. So if you make a mistake with them, you will not see the output, the corresponding output you will not be able to see. Now I'm going to create an array that's going to store all of them. So you know how to create an array. Let me call that array as ARR, and you know how to create an array. So this is an a blank array that you can create. Okay. Now this is the array inside which I'm going to store all of them. So all the element I'm going to store them. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start the first element. So let me zoom in for you. Okay, how do you write it? So you say like this. Okay, single quote, and you say source over. Let's say source over. Where is this one? Source over. Then put a comma. Then again you say source out. Okay, this is the second element. Third element, maybe destination over, destination, and so on and so forth. I will not waste your time in the video. What I've done is I have done some cheating over here, and I have copied all this one as it is without the spelling mistake. I've copied them. So and I'm going to just paste it there. So let me paste it here. I'm going to just press enter so that it goes down. Remember, it is still the same thing. Okay, I'm just going in the middle and I'm pressing enter, making some space here, and I'm going to just paste all of them. Control V to paste them. So this is, assume that just pretend as though I have typed it. Now if at all you want to format this, just right click anywhere on the code and then say format. It will format for you. So automatically it will format all the content for you. So I have written, if you look at here, I have written the source over one element, first element, then a comma separation, second element in the single quotes, then a comma separation, third element, a comma separation, fourth element, a comma separation. You can keep on writing directly, but to show it on the screen, I will just press enter. It's not going to make any difference if you press the enter in between. So this is what I have done. There is no changes as it. But if you notice over here, you will get a warning. On all the sites, you're going to get the warning because all the labels and all the controls that you have, all of them have the same ID, which is not something that is acceptable. So for the first one, that is for this box, I am going to say that the canvas will have can 0 and can 0, and the label will have label 0. For the next one, I'm going to make it as can 1. So this is can 1, and the next one is label 1. And the next one, this is can 2, and this is label 2 and label 2. And similarly, for this is not there. Okay, for the next one, I have the can 3 and label 3 and so on and so forth. So I am going to change the IDs for all the controls which are there in different columns, so different cells of the table. So this first one is can 0 and label 0. That is for the first column, that is for this column. So this column you have can 0, and second column it is going to be can 1. So if I go to the second column, this is first column, this is going to be the second column. For the second column, it is can 1 and label 1. So for the second column, for this is first column, it is 0, second column it is 1, next column it is 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. So every column I am going to change the ID. So this is first column, it is can 0, second column it is can 1, third column it is going to be can 2 and the label 2. Okay. Similarly, for the next row, remember this is for the next row. For the next row, first column. So next row, so this first row is over. Next row, first column. You are going to continue with the numbering. So this is 2 now. You stopped at 2. I am going to start with 3, and this one is 3. Similarly, for the next one, it's going to be 4. Let me go here. 4, and this is going to be 4. This is going to be 5, and the next label is going to be 5, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to just keep on doing it. So this is 6, and the next for the next column you are going to start with the 7. Let me put the 7, and the next one is 8, and this one is also 8, and the next one is 9, and this one is going to be 9. After that you have, after 9 you get this 10, and finally you have the 11. Okay, so 11. So if you notice over here, because when we are starting from 0 here, so this is going to be the 0, this is going to be the 1, this is going to be 2, then 3, then you have this 4, then you have this 5, then you have 6, 7, 8, okay, and 9, 10, 11. So this is altogether you have 11 elements, because you are starting from 0, it's going to be 11, otherwise it is 12. So general calculation it is 12, but since you are starting from 0, it is going to be that one. Okay, so I have created an array, and that array is going to show all the elements, all the names that which are there. I'm going to have done that thing there. Okay, so now let's start with the first thing. I'm going to, as I've told you, I'm going to start with the for loop. So I'm going to use a for and control space. If you press the control and space, if you're not familiar with the NetBeans, if you press control and space bar, so you are going to get a assistance from NetBeans. So I'm going to go for the last one. So for I is equal to variable I is equal to 0, I less than, not maximum, not say, I less than, not maximum. I'm going to, I have this array with me. This is my array. And how many elements are there? So if you notice, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 12 elements will be there. So altogether 12 elements are there, that and the length of the array will be 11. You know very well, because you are starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one will be 11. But I'm not going to type like that. I'm going to go to this array, and I'm going to get the length of the array. You know what is the meaning of saying length of the array. So I'll get up to the length of the array for I is equal to 0, up to the length of the array. And I am supposed to, let me format it a bit, and I'm supposed to do something. First of all, let me fill the names, that is the text which are here. I'm going to fill the text which are here. Okay, I'm going to just fill the text there. And what is the thing that I can do that is, I'm going to go to this document element. I will go to this document element, and I'm going to get hold of the element by ID. What is the name of the element? Remember, the name of the element is LAB. So I'm going to start LAB. Where is this? LAB. Now you notice that the elements are arranged in such a way that first one is LAB 0. Next one LAB is common, then it is 1. Next LAB is common, then it is 2. LAB is common, next is 3. And you notice that when the for loop iterates, as the for loop iterates, the value of I changes from 0. Next time, next iteration, I value will become 1. Next iteration, I value is going to become 2. Next iteration, I value is going to become 3, and so on and so forth. So what I have here is common plus the value of I. So I'm concatenating. You know what is the meaning of saying concatenating. So when I is equal to 0, it's going to be LAB 0. When I value becomes 1, it is going to be LAB 1. When I value is 2, it's going to be LAB 2. So as the value of I changes, you are going to concatenate the value of I, and when you concatenate all together, you are going to get the corresponding div element which is there. So as you change the value of I, you're going to get the corresponding ID of the div element. So that is what I'm doing it. So I'm going to say lab, that is label plus I. Then I am going to put the inner text to this one, inner HTML. And what is the inner HTML? I'm going to go to the corresponding element in the array, and I'm going to get the ith element there. So what is the meaning of it? When I is equal to 0, so for the first iteration I is equal to 0, array of I will fetch you this value. Okay, when I is equal to 1, array of I, that is when the next element, you are going to get this element. Okay, when I is equal to 2, you are going to get the next element. Where are you going to place them? You are going to place them inside this div element. Remember, this is the label. So when I is equal to 0, when I is equal to 0, what you are going to get is lab0. lab0. For this, you are going to put the first element of the array. What is the first element of the array? Source over. So the source over is going to come here. When I is equal to 1, this is going to be lab and the value of I. So this is the value of I. Lab is common. Then the value of I. So this value of I is going to be 1 here. So this is going to be lab1, and area of I, that is area of 1, when I is 1, is going to be this one, this element. So this element is going to come there. In other words, you are going to fill the different elements in the div here. So for the first element, let me close this one. That's not really. For the first element, you are going to fill it with the inner text of this div, which is there here, will be the first element. What is this? Not this one. The first element, that is the source over. So what you are going to do is, in the table that you have seen over here, so you are going to fill lab0 will be this one. Lab0 will be filled with the source over. lab1, as the iteration continues, as the for loop continues, so the next element is going to come here, and the next element is going to come here. So one after the other, all the elements are going to come. Let me just save it, and let's see whether I am getting it. So you notice that all the elements, that is destination elements, are being done. So you have done them. So you do that. So you get all the elements. So the first part is over. You are able to get all the elements. Now the next one is, you are supposed to draw a rectangle. So you notice that there is this rectangle that you need to draw. So you need to draw the rectangle everywhere that rectangle is there. So you have to draw this rectangle. In order to draw the rectangle, you have to get the hold on this canvas element. But there are many canvas element, and you know very well, to get the canvas element, what is common is CAN is common, and the numbers are changing. So CAN is common here. If you notice, CAN is common and the number is changing. So how do you get the canvas? I'm going to get the context of the canvas. So I'm going to say ctx, let me create a variable, ctx equal to get element by id, same as the previous one. So let's say get what is this element, well, let me first get the document element. First let me get this document element, and I'm going to say get element by id. And what is this one? CAN is common, and what is varying is the I value. So when I is equal to 0, this will be CAN0. When I is equal to 1, this is when I value changes, I value is 1. This is going to be CAN1. So as the value of I changes, you are going to get the first element CAN0, CAN1, CAN2. So different canvas element, you will be able to fetch them. So I am not interested in the canvas element. From this canvas element, I'm going to get the context. So I'm going to say get, so this you got this one. So you are going to say get context. Okay, and I want to get the two-dimensional context. So directly I'm getting the context of the element. So I'm able to get the context, and using this context I'm supposed to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to say CTX. First let me fill the color. So I'm going to say fill color, and I will select the color as a deep pink. So this is deep pink color. You can use any color. You can also use the direct pink color, but I'm going to use this deep pink color. So you got the deep pink color, and you know very well, to draw a rectangle you are supposed to use a fill rectangle. So I'm going to say CTX, and I'm going to say fill rectangle. So how do you say that? Is fill rect. Okay, starting at let me say I'll take 15 comma 50, and let me extend the value of this 70 comma 70. Okay, so you get the fill rectangle. You are able to get this one, fill rectangle. Let me make it proper. What is this? What is it? What is this doing? Okay, fill rectangle. So this is fill rectangle, and you have this value CTX, and then I say fill. So you know how to draw a rectangle. So you are just drawing a rectangle which is starting, see, which is starting at 15 comma 15. It's going to start at 15 comma 15, and it's going to go up to this much. So you are going to draw a, where is it gone? What is it doing? I'm not able to get the thing. So let's see. Okay, so starting at 15 15, so this is 15 15, and the next one is 70 70. You're going to draw a rectangle which is deep pink in color. So if I save it, and if I go and look at the output, you're going to see the output that has come only once. Now the next is why it is not coming in the all the other. It should have come in all the other. That means I have done something wrong. And what is that I have done something wrong? You, if you are you really don't know. NetBeans is not saying that there is any error. The browser is also not saying there is any error. But where is the error then? How do I know the error? Now, in order to know the error, go here to the menu, and sometimes you get it as advanced, sometimes you get it as more tools, depending upon the browser. Go to the more tools and go to the developer tools. And in the developer tools, you will see that something is happening there. So it is going to say the CTX fill is not a function. So let's look at this fill, and I have done a spelling mistake there, and FILL should have been, this has become caps lock now. FILL should have been there. So I'm going to just save it, and I'm going to see the all the output. Again, you see that it is not coming over here. Destination top is not coming. What is the problem? You just go here, and you are going to say while reading get context null, you are getting get context null. So you are getting the element. It's going to just show you where that error is there. Now if you just go here, and if you just extend this one out, you will find that there is it's going to actually show you where that error is there with a red color mark. You can notice that get context, that is the error. Okay. Get context 2D is the error. Now what is the problem? The problem is, let's look at the value here. This is 0, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, this is 7. Now seventh element I am not getting. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at the tags here. So you have 1 2 3 6, and seventh element, if you notice that I have put 0 there, so 70 it has become. So just remove it and make it as 7. So when I do this 7 and save it, you can click here to save it, and if you go back, you'll notice that all of them have come. Okay, so this is how you debug the content. So all the rectangles have come. Then I want the circle, that is a, not this one, where is it? Okay, this kind of a circle I want it. Okay, somewhere I want this kind of circle. Okay, if you notice there, that kind of circles are there everywhere, and this is in slightly medium blue color. So let's go and let's create a circle there. So let's go and let's create the circle. How do you create a circle? First of all, I'm going to say CTX, and I'm going to say fill style, and I'm going to say this is medium blue. Yeah, let me take the color as blue. Now, during the examination, just use pink and blue color. It's not going to create any problem with you if you just use the pink and blue color or red and blue color. Then nobody is going to find fault with you. Let me start this circle at the centered at 75, 75 or 80, 80. You can start the circle at any point, so that you are drawing a circle here. So you are drawing a circle, and the center of this circle, what I have taken is 75, 75, and I have to provide a radius to this circle. What is the radius of this particular circle? So the radius of this circle, I am going to say, is 0. Now, because I am drawing the arc, and you know very well arcs are drawn like this. Arcs are drawn like this. So you have to say where is the starting angle. So whether you are going to start at 30 degrees, whether you are going to start at 90 degree from here, are you going to draw the arc, or from here are you going to start the arc? What is the starting point? I am going to say that it is going to start at 0 degree, and I am going to take one 360 turn. So starting from 0 degree, so right at the x-axis I'm going to start. And how do you get 360 degree? You know very well what is 360 degrees. So 360 degrees for you, it is 360 degrees. So for you it is 360 degrees. For mathematics people, it is nothing but 2 pi radians. So this is nothing but this, for mathematics, this is nothing but this is 2 pi radians. Okay, so how do you write 2 pi? I will go to this math, and I'm going to get this pi, and I'm going to multiply it with 2. That is 360 degree. And finally, I'm going to use a CTX fill, so that I will fill it with the color CTX fill. So that is done. Let's go back and see whether we are able to get all this one. And you notice that immediately it stopped at right at the first spot itself. It said I can do it. So what is wrong with it? Again, what is wrong with it? You go here, go to the more tools, and go to the developer tools, click on the console. Remember, you need to click on this console in order to get the error. And what is the error? So failed, what is the canvas argument 5 requires but not present. Okay, canvas rendering 2D argument 5 is required but is not present, only 4 is given. Okay, so it is saying that I want the 5th element, but I think I have done a mistake with the something. Oh, sorry, I have not given the radius, so I forgot to type this radius. So I have told you that this is the circle. Okay, this center is this part. We have done that. A radius, I just forgot. As I talk, sometimes I just forget the thing. A radius is 35. So this radius, this R is 35, and it is starting at 0 degree, and that is starting at 0 degree. And you need to take one full circle 360 degrees. How do you get this 360 degrees? Is this. Okay, so I have just forgot. Sorry about that. I have just forgotten that one. And if you notice, you are going to get all of them like this, but all of them like this are not required. You have to put the compositions. So how do you put the composition? So that is this only part where you have to struggle in this entire exercise, is putting this word. Okay, this word is very, very important. So at least write it 10 times before going to the examination. Write it down, don't just read it. Write it down so that you know where it is spellings are changing. So this is global. You start and you are not in your question. What they have said is composition, but this is not the word. Most of you will make the mistake by writing it as composition. That word is not there. So what is the word that is there? It is the composite word is there. It's a composite word that is there. So 100% I'm sure most of you will end up in writing this word as composition, but it is not composition. So that's very important. And some of you will write this one as operator. This is not operator, this is operation. So remember that this is Tion, Tion, the global composite operation. So remember that, don't write it as composition, not operator. It is operation. Okay, and what is the value? Values are for the first one, this value is source over. For the second one, the value is source in. Third one is source out, and so on and so forth. So from where will I get it? I'm going to get it from the array. You have put the array of I there, and that is why you are getting all this value. Same array of I, I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to say ARR of I, and you are done with it. Okay. If I save it, I control S and save it, you are going to see all the output there. So as required by the exam, only thing is, even though it appears to be centered, because I have done I have adjusted the width as 120, and I have taken it. So there is no need for you to center the content. Now, if you change the width of it, it will not appear at the center. So in that case, you have to write, you can adjust the center by saying align at the center, but I'm not going to do it. So you can say, if at all it is required, you just say align equal to center. CNT. Now align the element at the center. What is it? You're going to get it. Okay, you ALIGN. Now, if it is not coming, you have to then go here and do it with the style sheet. Okay. So how do you do it with the style sheet? First, put the style, not really required, because the size I have selected in such a way that it's going to appear at the thing. You can say canvas, and then you can say align content. Okay, align at the center. Okay, you can say align the items, or align the content at the center. You can do that thing, but I'm not going to waste my time, because in the examination that's not really required. If you have taken the size, that what I'm taking the size as 120. So the reason why I've selected the size as 120, if you're wondering from where is getting this 120, I have adjusted this 120 in such a way that the content will automatically align itself at the center. Okay, that's the reason. And do you have to center them here? The answer is, in the question that in the sample that they have provided, it is not aligned at the center. It is, if you notice that these all are aligned at the left hand side. So we are not going to waste our time in aligning them at the center, because it's not asked for. So what is the takeaway in this particular exercise is, this is a very simple exercise. Only thing you have to remember is a few things. First is, you must know these words. Sometime you are given the sample, sometime you are not given the sample. If you're not given the sample, see, you start with the source, over, in, out, stop. That is on the top, and then destination, again over, destination, no spaces here, destination dash, over, in, out, and top. Then you have to search for this lighter, darker, copy, XOR. Remember this word. And very important thing in this whole exercise is this particular word. If you miss this word, you will not be able to get anything, except the two rectangle and circle. You will not be able to get anything. So this is global composite. I'm very sure, even after telling so many times, some of you will write it as composition, because the word is there here as composition. You will write it as composition itself, and operation, not operator. So that's all in this exercise. We will meet again in the next exercise. Thank you for your